Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome back to the breakfast show. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Jose, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Nvidia earnings week, so just been pretty busy. How about you, Neil?
All good. It's not just Nvidia's earnings week. Apparently, it's
That's
Jose's
the only one
birthday
that
week.
matters.
It's
It
it's
is.
Jose's birthday week,
No, that also matters too. That also matters too.
depending on the results. Depending on the results of Nvidia, of course. Um, yeah, good morning to everyone joining us this morning. Now, Nvidia reports tomorrow after the market closes. Today, we're just going to talk a bit about some predictions. We're going to touch on some other companies. I've seen some notes on AMD. I know you talked about Intel a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to hear your thoughts for sure, being a Intel investor. So mine aren't the best,
Hmm.
but would love to hear your thoughts on that, Neil.
Yeah, Theo here, first time viewer and new subscriber. Welcome to the channel, to the show. Good morning, everyone. Um, the Intel news. I mean, I've seen so many takes already over the weekend. I see right now that apparently the US is thinking about taking a stake in defense contractors, maybe
Hmm.
potentially, maybe also other semiconductor companies, maybe rare earth companies as well. And I mean the thing here is it depends. It depends what the structure is. Like if
Hmm.
it's like with Intel 10%, if it's I don't know, um, non-voting shares, no board seats, then I don't see the problem. It's an investment that they'll probably make a lot of money from over the long term period. Maybe they could have just created a sovereign wealth fund and do it that way, like we have the PIF for Saudi Arabia. I think that works out pretty well. Of course, some people say, "Oh, but this is America. This isn't China. They're taking control of companies." Not really taking control of any companies. It's like a 10% stake in Intel is not taking control of Intel.
Hmm.
They might force companies to choose Intel, but then again, I don't see that happening unless, like, if Intel's product sucks, then you cannot force anyone to just spend money with Intel.
Yeah. Yeah. So a few things. It's weird how I think there's many ways to look at it, right? I think for the United States, it definitely makes sense. I mean, like you mentioned, right? You have all these other countries having investments in some form of kind of like create an IP shield. Pretty much is like, hey, with the you are um your asset is crucial for the nation. So we want to try to help you out. So I do see it in the US point. What I had a problem with, would say, if problem is, first, I'm not a shareholder, but obviously it comes with the dilution in shares. That's maybe the first thing of the 10% being pretty much new shares, so new dilution after you're already diluting kind of the more equity from ARM. I forget how much the ARM, not ARM, SoftBank. So from the SoftBank, which was also new shares. So investors are just continuing to be diluted there. That was, I think, one of the top things as a if I was an Intel investor. The other thing I think is more on the CHIPS Act process, right? The CHIPS Act was meant to be an incentive to drive manufacturing here into the United States, right? Because unfortunate, not unfortunate, maybe unfortunate for some business, it is more expensive to do labor and to just to work here, right? So you had to create an incentive to bring it here. So many people were saying, look, Jose, the United States is giving free money to semiconductor companies. There's it's never a free lunch for anybody, right? The United States wasn't giving free money. It was creating an incentive for those companies to come and work here in the United States. Now this CHIPS Act seems to be going away, and the incentive to build that here is no longer that. If you're going to start to ask companies for 10% for that same money that was kind of promised for that incentive. I mean, there are reports that TSMC said if they were going to be asked to give the 10% for equity, they'll just give the money right back. And that's like, at the end, I want to say, our companies like TSMC, like all these other semiconductors, going to say, is it cheaper for me to give up 10% equity, or is it cheaper for me to pay the tariffs? And now you have eliminated this whole concept of building semiconductor back in the United States. And I think that's the thing that kind of like bother me. It's kind of creating this effect that now the CHIPS Act and building in the United States is not important. What's important is getting money one way or another. And I think if you were to just build here in the United States will flourish with that incentive alone. Um, but I think the current administration just wants the obviously saying you have 10% equity and you're going to get money makes a lot more sense and is a lot more headliney. But for me, it was more kind of it created a shift change of the overall concept of building in the United States. And now companies have to go back and think, does it make sense for me to manufacture in US if I have to give up some equity, or do I just pay the tariffs? And I'm pretty sure there's some math that can be done to see which is better.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, for me, we've talked about the CHIPS Act before countless times, and I always said, like, what was it, 56, $58 billion for the semiconductor industry? It's nothing. Like Intel got what, maybe 8 billion from it all, and that took quite a while, right? They already had to spend tens of billions of dollars in building out manufacturing site, investments, R&D, and all of that. And so that the CHIPS Act was a good step forward to bring manufacturing back to the United States, but I didn't see how it would make such a big difference. Tax benefits and all of that, I think, helps way more than just the $56 billion. Taking a stake in a company, again, there are ways where I think this can work out perfectly. Like imagine you take a 10% stake right now in Intel. 10 years from now, Intel is worth, I don't know, 5 times more. I think that's a good thing for the United States, especially for that investment. Um, but yeah, if you start using what you said, like, oh, you got some money or the grants, and now decide between the two. Either you give it back, or we take a stake in your company. I don't think that's the way forward. Again, I thought the idea of a sovereign wealth fund is a very good idea, because again, we invest in companies because we want to own parts of that company. The US having a sovereign wealth fund means that everyone in the US is going to benefit from the success of the companies that they've invested in. And I think that's a good good way to think about it. I don't know. Again, I don't know all the details of what's going to happen with all the future deals, but I rather see them go into that direction. Again, it's something they've talked about before, creating a sovereign wealth fund. Now with Intel being also a very strategic US asset because it's Intel Foundry, a US
Mhm,
company. It's very important. I can understand that one.
mhm.
I've seen now Lockheed Martin is another name that's been
Oh,
mentioned
wow.
here as a potential. Again, also I can see the logic behind it because it's Lockheed Martin. But then if we will start to see TSMs and all of that, maybe not, right? Maybe not.
Yeah. And I think sometimes, obviously, this is kind of like, what is the case? Trump said Intel gave 10% of its shares to U.S. ownership for free, not purchased. Do you know, Nick? I
four
think
dollars
uh, y- y- um, he said that, but they still paid for it via the Grants Act, right? The CHIPS Grants Act, and now in theory, it was, I think, 11.8 billion. I forget the actual number, from various grants. A lot of those grants previously had things like revenue sharing, and they had some other kind of clauses as well. Those clauses have been eliminated, so it's pretty much kind of like a direct investment. So it's the reason he says free is that money, I guess, was already accounted and was already going to be given to Intel. Obviously, it sounds awesome when you say you got 10% of a company for free, but it wasn't necessarily free. The other thing I want to say is, I think Eddie here has a point. This is more of like I think it was only an Intel deal, at least for the fab side. There are reports that one of the main reasons is, obviously, it's a US based company, but the other thing is Intel is the only semiconductor player out there, within the CHIPS Act that stopped expanding, right? They mentioned in last earnings that they were no longer expanding, while all the players like TSMC, like Samsung, like Micron Technology, all those have expanded after the initial CHIPS Act that they saw. So, right, we saw an extra, I forget, was an extra $100 billion from TSMC. I think we saw an extra $20 billion or so from Micron Technology. So, all those companies that are expanding, I guess, at least for the moment, they might be excluded for any potential talks like this. Um, I also say with Intel, one of the good things is, even though the government is going to be a quiet investor, someone mentioned they don't think this administration will be a silent partner. I think there's going to be some talks with maybe, I think the potential of the current administration talking with other tech leaders and saying, look, maybe it would be nice if you send some orders to Intel. Uh, that could be seen great for Intel, but at the end of the day, I think the only way you should be able to survive is if you deliver something competitive.
Hmm. That's the thing. Like even, I mean, I've said it before. I'm an Intel shareholder, Intel option holders. Um, I again, you can try and force people to go and give Intel money, but that's not. It's just not. It doesn't. It's not going to work. If the product is there, then yes, maybe like a little nudge in that direction and say, actually, you might have forgotten about Intel, but maybe check out what they have. I don't know if that's really going to happen. I do think that Lee Bhutan played for the chess in the earnings call, right? When they announced like they are not going to continue to build in Ohio and in the other places. 14A, if we don't get any orders coming in, 14A might just never happen, etc., etc. And now, like a couple of weeks after that, he goes to the White House, talks with the administration. Administration gets a 10% stake in the company. Suddenly, maybe Intel is back on the table as a valuable option going forward. Could be like Libutan saying, genius, genius move. It's being played out. But then again, if 18A is not a success, then yeah, all of it just doesn't make any sense. But if it is a success, then I do think that 10 years from now, people will say, you know what, that 10% stake in Intel actually, that was a genius move.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think for USA, it is it is a good move. I just think for Intel, it's not necessarily the biggest thing. And Roto here mentions, you mean TSMC didn't get any help from Taiwan government? They did, right? I mean, I think
The Taiwan
it's weird
government
to
is their
say
largest shareholder.
they're shareholder, right? So as long as you're delivering a competitive product, right? I don't think you can force hand anybody. And the other thing is Taiwan. I mean, your Nvidias, your Apples, your all these are American companies. Um, so Taiwan, I mean, they could have helped, but it's not like they can make a deal like we see kind of a lot of these mafia style deals that we're seeing right now. Um, but I think for US, if this ends up I think it's crucial for the United States government to have Intel succeed. So it's interesting, right? And it's I'm playing both sides, but it's like in different viewpoints. I like it. Obviously, as a U.S. Citizen and kind of the strength of the United States, I want this to be the best deal ever. In the concept of the Chips Act and what the Chips Act was supposed to represent for the United States, I'm not a fan of that. For an Intel shareholder, I'm not an Intel shareholder, but if I was an Intel shareholder, I would have mixed bags, right? The dilution concerns, but then the opportunity of maybe the assistance of the government. So depending on where I view it, it's different viewpoints. Um, but yeah, it's interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean the dilution part, SoftBank was 2%,
Hmm.
and this one, okay, a little bit extra, but again, if this pushes Intel back into let's say the discussion of future big semiconductor players, foundry and non-foundry, I don't think many shareholders will say, "Oh, this is bad."
Hmm.
I think I would gladly give like 2% if suddenly SoftBank arranges like a deal Intel ARM.
Yeah. Yeah. See, so SoftBank wasn't that bad. I like SoftBank because it was dilution for actual money that was new money. This was just
Yeah.
like old money that was kind of obviously you remove the clauses, but the SoftBank, I wouldn't mind more stuff like that. And then a partnership like that with SoftBank, it potentially has like partnership as you know, they own obviously ARM and other kind of
Mhm.
semiconductor players.
Yeah, it's about yeah, it's about connections, I guess, in this semiconductor space. I think Lee Bhutan has some good connections from his decades at Cadence. But yeah, it's an interesting move. I mean, I'm pretty happy with how the
Mhm.
options are being played out right now, but
Yeah.
we're
Um,
still quite early in this story. We do have some AMD news as well.
yeah. Some quantum, we saw a price target increase, I think, earlier today, Neo.
Correct. I'll maybe start off with the price target, and then we can go with the IBM quantum play real quick.
JJ. I wear this chain every day.
So we have
Nice.
Truist upgrades AMD
Mhm.
to buy from hold, raises price target to $213 from 173. They said the following constructive view from the field for the last several years. Our industry contacts, component buyers and sellers have told us that hyperscale customers deploying AI were experimenting with AMD's technology as a price check to Nvidia, which I guess Nvidia they have a buy rating, nothing more. Over the last month or so, contacts have increasingly noted that hyperscalers are working with AMD in a partnership manner, expressing true interest in deploying AMD at scale. We fine tune our model, establish calendar year 27 EPS at $7.89, set our price target to $213. So,
I
not
just
bad.
find it weird. I mean, all this is things we discussed, right? I mean, AMD has shared it in the past AI event that they brought up all these great partners that are saying they're going to use them. I don't know. It's sometimes analysts confuse me a little bit. It's like I don't see any new news here outside of the price target, I guess.
Yeah, no new news. I will I will try and pick up the pull up the EPS estimates from Wall Street's average just to see where Wall Street is and where they are. So let's see. And yeah, AMD is up 2.8% before the market
Mhm.
opens right now. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
just because of this or probably this, and I don't think the quantum has a lot to do with it, to be honest. But
yeah. I just feel like right now we're in a market where put new markets kind of get exciting. Um, and do create some at least short-term momentum. Like yesterday, Neil, we saw Nvidia go up. Um, and there was kind of like I don't know if you saw there was a robotics platform that they
Mhm.
announced. they've always had these robotics platforms. Jetson is
Correct.
not a new concept. It's old. And it's not like Jetson Blackwell that they also announced yesterday is not new. What was new was just like the developer kit. But yeah, it's market is weird right now. But we also did get price targets increase
Yeah.
for Nvidia yesterday as well.
Yeah. So consensus for AMD EPS fiscal 27 is $7.43. So their truest is a bit over that with their $7.89.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Let's see the IBM quantum news real quick.
I don't know. I just like this. Uh, if Intel shareholders are getting diluted due to the government stake, does that count as stock base? Just here, Ken, how's it going? Appreciate having someone on the X platform. But Neil, it's correct to think of it as dilution, right? I saw someone mention that they didn't think it was a diluter, at least for Intel. Um, the government is new shares, right? New shares outstanding that are coming out. It has to be if they need to, if they're collecting the money, right?
Um, Unless, because I saw
Is that?
they got those shares at $4. So these are warrants, no?
Oh no, they got it at $20.
Are you sure?
Yeah, $20.37. I think it was a $4 discount. $20.87. They have it on their event, but they also have the ability to buy an extra 5% if Intel splits up its foundry business. But yeah, let me send you the link. It
Oh
was
yeah,
at
$4
$20
discount.
and something.
Yeah, $4
Yeah, yeah.
discount. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm, let me pull up the AMD thing. Well, it's already this on the screen right now. But
Yeah,
let me pull up the AMD page.
yeah, Roto. $20.40. Neil, I know your other one's been ripping. Wolfie here is following your lead.
Is it safe to have open door at 60%? That's
That's wild.
I
That's
mean,
wild.
with that, it's like one day you're you're filthy rich, the other day you're like 50% poor.
Mm,
So we have this news right here. Um, Intel, AMD and IBM are partnering to build hybrid quantum-centric supercomputing, fusing quantum and AI with the best of high-performance hardware and software to solve world's toughest real-world challenges at unprecedented speed and scale. Look, do we have to repeat our thoughts on quantum again or not?
what are
Because
they doing? Are they going to be providing kind of their epic CPUs and stuff like that?
it doesn't really say.
They
Just
really
said that they
say?
are going to collaborate to develop scalable open source platform that could redefine the future of computing, leveraging IBM's leadership in developing the world's most performant quantum computers and software, and AMD's leadership in high performance
Mm.
computing and AI accelerators.
Robert just says they put all the buzzwords in one article.
Yeah,
AMD
I
and
mean,
are exploring. It says it right there. Um, so this is crazy. It's just an exploration right now.
well, obviously it's all exploration because this is like 10 years out or 5, 10,
Mm, yeah.
quantum computing. So, okay, I mean, it's a good press release, I guess, but again, it's nothing that will impact 1 cent of revenue in the near term
Mm,
at all, I think.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, in terms of revenue or anything, I wouldn't see this as, I would see this as non-movement news, right? I think obviously your quantum brothers and quantum sisters are going to be pretty excited about this right now. Um, I'm pretty sure all the quantum bulls are going to be like, see, it's happening. And it'll eventually happen, right? I think it'll eventually happen. I just don't think it's right now.
Yeah, but
But it's pretty
that's
cool to kind of see this. I saw IEEE Neil, which is a very important kind of institute in the electrical engineering firm. They're going to have their first quantum event this year. Um, so there seems to be some traction. I might kind of do a registration on it to see how much is what are the thoughts of discussions there. So now that IEEE might be doing that event, um, I might have to show up just to see how they have things really progressed dramatically in the last 12 months or so.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what you said about the other quantum players, isn't this actually going against what?
Bearish.
Yeah, because again, this shows that an established player,
Yeah.
IBM, is maybe the way to go,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
not.
and IBM has been doing it for a while. I mean, they've I think um out of the big one, um the big like you mentioned, I mean, all these other players, Google, Microsoft, they continue to invest in quantum. But I think IBM is probably out of those the ones that has been doing it the longest, at least from what I recall from press releases. Um, but yeah, I agree, Neil. It kind of shows that it's most likely going to be one of the big players that ends up winning this race.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that before. There's IBM, there's Microsoft, there's Google, there's Amazon, there's
Mhm,
Intel even. So plenty of the big guys are in the quantum space, and
mhm.
I rather own their business and have like that call option on the future of quantum than on a company that's already worth billions of dollars today and generates $0. So
Mhm. Let's see. Let's see what Eddie said. Eddie said, I think even if it doesn't lead to anything with IBM, maybe in the future, AMD can take what they learn with IBM and apply it to whoever actually figures out quantum and work with them as well. I think that's also the case with why these players are doing kind of this hybrid computing is they're trying to find partners and agree, Eddie. It's like, even if you don't work out, at least we build this solution. Um, or at least this understanding of what we can learn from here to work with whoever ends up winning. So those are some great thoughts there, Eddie.
I wasn't here yesterday, so maybe it's time to
Mhm.
pull this up.
Oh yes,
All-time
this
highs,
was this was
all-time
nice
highs
yesterday.
for the dead
Mhm.
AI company called Alphabet. So congratulations to all of us shareholders that have been screaming about this small AI startup called Google.
this one,
Um,
this this failed AI advertisement company that's dead thanks to AI.
yeah, um, and it's still cheap in my opinion.
Yeah,
The- I mean, it's definitely the cheapest name out of the Max 7 on a PE, for trailing or even forward one. Um, but yeah, I'm quite happy to see this
yeah.
happen.
And Robert was here telling us that they started quantum research in the 70s and had quantum computers in 2000. So yeah, I feel like that I've heard of them being one of the, I don't know if OGs, but definitely been there for a while.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, quantum computing has been
Yeah,
talked about for a long, long time. Um, I know we've
I
talked about
like it,
CoreWeave.
Neil. I like it. I like it.
I know you
I'm
like it.
liking it a lot right now.
50% pullback from the highs
Yeah.
for CoreWeave. Do you think like $90 is this place where the market is going to say this might be the bottom
I
base
don't
that we're going
I,
to form, or
I don't know. I think we could see 80s too. Even low 80s. Um, but it's just I purchased Neo. I did. I purchased some shares and I sold some puts as well. So if those get exercised, even more shares for me. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm liking it. I don't know if you saw um Nvidia recently announced a new product, Spectrum XGX. I forget the actual name, but it's something that allows. One of the biggest issues right now is kind of putting together distributed data centers, right? One, when we're kind of one of these data centers, we want a data center to be in one place. It helps with everything, especially for training, where you want latency to be almost the lag between communications to be almost zero. And the only way you can really do that is by having everything really close to each other. Um, but they announced this new solution where they're creating this networking space, and other companies have done it, but no one has talked about it like Nvidia right now, where they've created this new networking solution that even if you're in distributed data centers, you can make it seem like one mega data center.
Hmm.
And CoreWeave is the first person or the first kind of hyperscaler to test it out and do it. And like I mentioned, I think CoreWeave is NVIDIA's favorite child right now. Obviously, has other childs. I mean, they want to reduce that dependency of all the cloud server providers. So they're making sure you have your Nebulas, you have your even Iron, whatever Iron, whatever the name is.
Hmm.
Um, they just announced that they're buying more Blackwells. Like those are preferred players, but I think CoreWeave is their favorite at the moment, and CoreWeave tries everything out first for them. And I think that's a bullish case in this AI environment where there's supply constraint um, compute in the AI space. In another environment, it's not necessarily the biggest moat. I think in this type of environment, it's definitely something strong to think about.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's the thing with CoreWeave is that even with all of the the question marks around depreciation, debt, etc., etc., it still is CoreWeave, that first big name that works with Nvidia, works with OpenAI, and sometimes that's just enough. Like,
Mhm.
why go against the stream if they're already, like, if they're there? Like,
Yeah.
even with all of the ifs and buts, looks like
You I think if the AI market, ever slows down, maybe not slows down, if big tech players really do decide to go their own ASIC route and stop purchasing from Nvidia, if there's ever that case, right? Um, I think Nvidia buys out a lot of these companies and creates its own clouding giant, its own its own cloud service provider. Where
mhm.
it's saying, look, you don't need me, I don't need you. I propped up my CoreWeave, I propped up my Nebius, I propped up all these. Um, we're just gonna take your market because I got the best chips, and if I got the best chips, it means I'm gonna have the best cloud service provider. So I I I don't know. It gets me for CoreWeave for Nebius. I'm pretty excited right now with the way the market is looking.
Fair enough. I did pull up this thing that came out yesterday from IREN. So they purchased 4,200 NVIDIA
Mhm.
Blackwell GPUs and secure financing. We've talked about the 2,400, I think, that they announced a month or so ago. So now their AI cloud expanded to 8,500 GPUs. We can see here the breakdown. They now have a lot of B200s, then a lot of B300s, H200s, and a little bit of H100s for them. They're moving quite quickly. They said here, um, 4,200 NVIDIA Blackwell B200 GPUs for approximately $193 million, including ancillary equipment. Financing conversations are underway in respect of these GPUs, with the initial commitment made from existing cash, which again is is coming from the Bitcoin mining side of their business.
Mhm.
Iron is expected to report earnings also, I think, either Wednesday or no, I think
Yeah,
Thursday.
sometime this week, right?
Yeah, I think Thursday. So that's going to be very interesting. The stock has been
Mhm.
doing extremely well.
Amazing. Yeah.
Um, I mean, we're here at $23, and I mean, we've heard about the Wolf deal. Iron has been releasing, of course, their figures every month. We've heard about them buying more GPUs. I think, of course, the next big thing that could push again this stock higher and higher is if they announce a deal during the earnings call.
Mhm.
Could be,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're doing very well. They're doing very well. I'm sure. Actually, I didn't even check what Nebius was doing yesterday, but
Hit 70, back to
it's
70.
70, back to 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to 70. Okay, no, quite a nice
which is
rebound
good
here.
because it was in the 60s yesterday. I mean, I think Friday or Thursday it was in the
Yeah,
60s.
yeah.
Um,
It was even in the low 60s here at one point. Wednesday last week. Last week was an interesting week because we did end Friday, of course, extreme green. But when I checked my week over week, I was like barely up
yeah,
0.2% or something like that. And that's because like we've seen like just two days or 2.5 days where things were just falling 5 to 10% on some various names. And so yeah, these pullbacks, although they're quite short, they are quite heavy as well.
yeah, yeah. I was looking, Neil, at kind of like I think AMD's 1 month. I think it was 1 month. And the stock in the past month is as of yesterday was down like 1.5%. But if you just look at the peak movements in that 1 month, it moved from like 0% gains to like 10% gains to like negative 12% gains. But overall, on the month basis, it's still almost flat. So it's crazy how volatile this market is right now.
Yeah, if it wants to pull up here, the monthly candles. These are the monthly candles for AMD. So of course, in April we did see the bottom right here, and then followed by three nice big green candle. We're on that red one, but yeah, you can see the spread of those candles right here is quite something. It's quite something, but it's a nice movement here for AMD. I think Nvidia is about the same, approximately the same.
I hate where it's at.
No, not the same. Much better. Much
I
better,
think if
actually.
you look at it in in like the 6 months time frame or like the 3 months time frame from the pull down, I think they look a little bit better, but or AMD might be a lot better in that short term. Yeah, but Nvidia is still doing great.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, 180. So do you want to do? I mean, tomorrow we'll do a full-on preview.
Yeah.
Today, just do some
Mhm.
predictions for AMD, um, for Nvidia. Sorry. What are you
Mhm.
expecting, or what do you predict will
Uh,
happen?
Hold on. I kind of have a slide already, Neil. Maybe I can just
If you have a slide ready,
look
even
at that.
better.
And we can look at it again, maybe tomorrow. Let me just see. I think it's this one. Earnings preview. Let's go start from the beginning. Up. You can keep talking, Neil, while I do it. So our viewers
I
sign.
see here Roberto is now in the CoreWeave Euro bet. So I guess
CoreWeave.
out of respect, I will have to join him
Yeah.
later today with
What
a very
question
very
was it?
small
That I saw Roberto was thinking of
of
either
telling
getting out of
applied.
apply. Which one did he do a new one or did he get out of the other one?
I mean, I told him we should just open another one and not
All
sell
right.
applied
Okay.
because I mean applied
Sounds
is
good.
also doing
Yeah, that's what
well. No,
I'm still with that. So I want to
it's
see if I should also shift with you guys.
let's see.
Mm,
Yeah, no, applied digital is doing well. So not planning on exiting that
yeah,
one, but
yeah.
CoreWeave. I
Uh,
guess CoreWeave is on Jose now.
yeah. um, this
Are you
is, I
zoomed
think,
in or
wait,
no? It's
what?
fine.
This is not working?
No, it's
Is it
fine.
working?
Not just a lot of
Oh,
white space, but okay, it's good.
oh yeah. Cause I'm on the slide. I didn't feel like,
No, no, it's fine.
but thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm happy I got your approval. Yeah. I think this is probably the single slide I keep showing. I showed it yesterday, but it's kind of gets me excited for Nvidia earnings. Quarter four and quarter one of 2025, you didn't see any capital expenditure growth. And I remember some of the people that I follow, Neil, were saying that this is the end of the AI space. Because if you started to look at a trailing 12-month basis, you didn't see much growth rate between quarter four and quarter one. And here, even obviously sequentially, there was no sequential growth. Now you kind of fast forward into quarter two of 2025, it went from $80 billion in capital expenditure to $100 billion in capital expenditure. Obviously, capital expenditure includes more than just AI servers and AI solutions, but it has been reported that if you do napkin math, about 50% of capital expenditure from these big tech players tend to be going to AI servers. That's the napkin math that's going on around kind of like Wall Street right now. So if you grew about 20 billion, you expect at least 10 billion to go to AI accelerators, AI servers. Now, within there, you have obviously competition. You have Nvidia, you have AMD, you have Broadcom, you have Marvell. We saw AMD's earnings. AMD, while they are promising a strong future, this quarter wasn't it. So that $20 billion or so, I don't think AMD got much more growth from it. Then you have Marvell and Broadcom. Broadcom, obviously being Google, Google did see, is the orange, did see a nice jump in capital expenditure. So I do believe Broadcom is going to get a nice growth here, but I still believe Nvidia is taking a big brunt of that cash flow. Same with Amazon. Amazon, you see a nice jump here. Marvell with their Trainium chip. I think this is when they're going to really start seeing some growth from it. So you can say Amazon is probably also getting some of that Marvell chip, but I also believe Nvidia is taking the big blunt of this capital expenditure as well. So for me, this huge growth tells me that I'm expecting a lot from Nvidia. What the market is expecting, and maybe we'll look at this tomorrow, is about $46 billion in total revenue, which is about 53% year over year growth. And for guidance, they're expecting about 52.5 billion for quarter three. Maybe tomorrow I'll explain what the numbers I'm thinking they might hit. But then here for the data center space, last quarter was about 39 billion. This quarter, they're expecting somewhere around 41, $42 billion in just the data center space. In earnings per share, the quarter, $1, which would be a 47% year over year growth. And for quarter three, $1.19, which is crazy. It's a 20% sequential growth there, which is intense within itself, but then on a year-over-year basis is probably another high double digits. Free cash flow, Leo, and this is the thing that I'm super excited about, is free cash flow for this quarter is expected to be $24.3 billion. If you look at starting from maybe, if we look at the April, the June, October, and January estimates, free cash flow for the year is going to surpass over $100 billion. If you look at those 12 months, I think even if you look at January, so 15 plus about 26, plus about 24, plus about 20 something, you're going to get to almost a $100 billion free cash flow year for this year. And I think that is intense. So to me, the real question is, this company's free cash flow is growing. It's going to be, I think by the end of this year, is going to be the highest free cash flow machine in the Max 7. Last quarter, it did 72 billion. This quarter, we're seeing it's jumping even more. So it's going to pass everybody else, except Apple with $96 billion in free cash flow. I think by the end of the year, this was going to be going down a little bit and Nvidia is going to be going up a lot. That by the end of this year, Nvidia is going to have more free cash flow than Apple, which I think is wild. The other thing is just, I think I had kind of their total cash. They have about $54 billion in cash, Neil. I'm going to be wondering, what are they doing with this cash? Right. What they need to be doing something. Where are they going to be investing this money? Are they just going to start building their own cloud server provider solution? What are they going to be doing with 53 billion? Because cash and short-term investments, I want you to invest that somewhere. But when you're getting free cash flow like this, I think it's very hard to spend that type of money in that type of quarterly basis.
Man, that chart was crazy. Like, what was it? A couple of 3 years ago, they were generating what, $7 billion in free cash flow, maybe even less. I mean, I guess you should be expecting 2 cents in dividends pretty
In
soon.
dividend. Oh
Two
man.
cents in dividends, buying back shares probably as well. I mean, what's the thing with Nvidia is, well, what can they do with that cash?
Yeah.
If it were
It-
any other company, I could say, okay, you can acquire that company, you can acquire that company, but Nvidia does not need to acquire
no. Yeah.
any company.
The only thing that makes sense for me, Neil, is if they do eventually start thinking about, and it's weird to say, building their own clouding business. Like they kind of tried it a little bit with DGX Cloud, but it's like your main players are out there trying to find a way to eliminate you from their capital expenditure. You can play the reverse Uno card pretty easily. You have a great engineering team and say, look, you guys don't need me. I'll take this $100 billion in cash. Guess how many data centers I can build? Guess how many of my chips I can put in that really quickly? And guess how many of your customers I can take like no tomorrow? Um, so I wonder if it's just saving that money for that rainy day when someone goes out there and says, you know what? I don't need you anymore, Nvidia.
Yeah, but then again, the reason why they are generating so much cash is because of those
'Cause-
those
yeah.
players. So
But if they're if the GPUs themselves are actually as money worthy as they say they are, right? If you're really able to get that much money, um, oh,
I mean, so far our it's funny, it's weird to say, but so far our degen plays has worked out. Applied
oh,
digital has worked out. My
uh,
open door thing have
yeah.
worked out
Neo
much
is
better
the
than
real
expected.
degen around here. This guy with his open. I did it once with them in Applied Digital, and I'm the one, yeah, starting this.
This, I mean, the whole open door thing is getting way out of hand, but I don't care as long as this thing will make me money. I'm fine.
Mm,
Um, they could buy Intel. Yeah, okay, they could buy Intel, but why would they? Like, why would they
yeah,
buy? They buy it for the foundry side.
yeah. I I I agree,
Oh, they
Neil. I
wanted to
wonder
buy
what
ARM.
can they do.
They wanted to buy ARM
Yeah, the
for
arm.
40 plus billion.
Yeah.
40 or was how much was it?
I think
40,
was
no?
it 40,
40,
42? Well, I
45.
forget. It
Yeah.
was already.
So that would
It's
have
been
been
that long.
the big that would have been
Yeah.
the big investment. But right now, I don't. I honestly I don't know. I don't know. Just I guess
Yeah.
like Apple, just buy back
Mhm.
shares, pay a dividend, um, sponsor the channel. I don't know.
Responsibility. That's it.
That
Yeah.
could be a good a
Nelson
good
killed it here. Nelson, I got my boss involved with Nvidia before a split. Then it went up big time. Now I get bonuses every year. Very nice. Very nice.
they probably
Roberto, do not. I am not the instigator around here. You guys come up with the ideas, and then say, you know what? You guys are so smart. I'll follow you guys.
Nelson in a bit. I'm back with an update on my story. I bought the business, and now my boss works for me.
Oh man. Um,
Let's actually check. The market will open in what 10 minutes. So let's actually
um,
check the pre-markets or markets in Europe are reddish. Apparently, French stocks
mhm,
slide as Paris government face risk of collapse. Oh,
wow.
what a shame. Baguette. The Asian markets are completely red here because of Trump's tariff threats. I do think that we might be hearing about
I,
a
I,
Korean deal.
I'm lost. I'm lost, Neil. What's happening? What were there new tariffs discussions?
There are discussions with Korea. I think that we might have a deal pretty soon. With Asia, I don't think it's anything new, to be honest. Um, nothing, nothing new right now. I mean, look at pre-market for the US markets. Nothing really moved much at the moment. Um,
Mhm.
we did have a truth post yesterday about Trump willing to fire or firing one of the Fed's. What's her name?
Miss Cook,
Uh,
Lisa Cook.
Lisa
Yeah, I
Cook.
remember
Yeah,
because if you, I find it funny if he was to just say Lisa, I would think of Lisa Sue, and if he would just say Cook, I would think of Tim Cook.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. What happens with this story? This comes after what's his name? Bill Pulte.
I miss. Mr. Crash here. So 200% threat to China if they don't send magnets.
Magnets.
Oh yes, the digital tax too. The digital tax that's another thing.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Uh, Magnets. Who knew magnets were such a? No, I mean, makes sense. Magnets are quite important in a lot of things. Uh, Euro dollar 116. Bonds are not that, didn't really change much at the moment. Let's actually see
Do we have
if we have some
any early
more.
movers?
Yeah, other than AMD, I don't think.
Air
Uh,
technology is still
yeah.
ripping
Mm-hmm.
up another 8% today after like a 20% day yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, since the what was it? Since they reported that post
Mhm.
earnings crash, they've
Yeah, it
done
was
quite
like they
well.
posted earnings crashed, then like 3 days later they announced a big order and it made a U-turn, and then it seems that same hyperscaler um, just placed more orders yesterday or 2 days ago.
Hmm, not bad, not bad.
Mm,
What am I seeing here? Nothing much. Seems like I mean, quite ish, quite
yeah.
ish.
Do we have
Oh,
any main events this week, Neil, in forms of like macro stuff or no?
no, this was today. But no, other than that, I don't think there's s- big macro stuff happening. China to hold National People's Congress standing committee meeting in Beijing. Okay. China's vice commerce minister will be in Washington this week for the first round of trade talks in the United States. Since the tariff truce began, talks will focus on soybeans purchases, while Beijing is also pushing for the removal of 20% fentanyl tariff and fewer restrictions on US tech sales. I guess they'll be
Mhm.
also talking about chips or not. I don't know.
Yeah. And did you see this, Neil? The kind of chief accountant left for AMD
Hmm.
yesterday. But if you go a little bit deeper, it wasn't that big of. I mean, regardless, I think something like that's not a big deal. But he just got a promotion at his old job. He came here for AMD for like 6 7 months. I think he started in November of 2024. He came from Skyworks. He was previously the chief accountant in Skyworks, and it seems like Skyworks had a new position available, the CFO. And this guy got the position. So he's like, you know what, AMD, thank you for the 6 months. I'm going back to where I worked more as a promotion. So I,
Yeah,
because I know
fair enough.
lately, Neil, when we hear anybody in the financial aspect of leadership leave, the
Hmm.
first thing is like, oh, what did AMD do that was
Yeah,
wrong, or it's bearish thesis. They're doing a super micro thing here.
yeah. I mean, as long as it's not really the CFO leaving like abruptly, then I don't really see what the
Referred
fuss
us,
is all about. We do
yeah.
have here the South Korea stuff. So they
Hmm.
said that they will set up a non-binding agreement with the United States to govern $350 billion in investment fund tied to their July trade deals. I did also see something with Boeing with regards to
Yes,
South Korea, probably an
I would like
order
to make
there.
a non-binding deal too.
Yeah, I mean, most of these things are non-binding. It's like a handshake deal. Um, but yeah, China. More news on China here. They've rolled out
I
a
let
new
to read
state
this one.
council. Yeah, so new state council guidelines to accelerate its AI plus initiatives. Development of AI chips, software ecosystems, and ultra large scale computing clusters. Basically, this is their plan to basically probably compete with Nvidia. Expansion of AI driven cars, robots, PCs, phones, and wearables, stronger fiscal and financial support for AI firms, and faster breakouts in model training and inference. Targets by 2027 over 70% adoption in key sectors, by 2030 over 90% adoption with AI as a main growth driver, by 2035 transition to a fully intelligent economy and smart society. Hmm. Okay. I mean, by 2035, they probably have robots walking around in China, um, but they'll still have an issue with their own population. with super low birth rates, with a
Mhm.
uh, pretty old population as well.
You got 3 minutes till open, Neil.
I do have 3 minutes still open. Um, let's see. I saw this. This was very strange. Like Spotify is rolling out a direct messaging feature this week, letting both
Hmm.
free and premium users share songs, podcasts, and I was like, okay, more DMs in an
Yeah.
app.
It's so weird that you can't even I don't know. It would be fun. Am I just sending a song and that's it?
I guess so. I guess so. But then again, like, I guess maybe to spend more time inside the app. Who knows? Uh,
GoPro, Broadcom. Oh yeah, Broadcom has an event today. Um, they have their VMware event on Las Vegas. Next year, mark me, I'm gonna start going to a lot of these stuff
stuff.
in
Didn't we?
Vegas.
Didn't we say we were going to go to GTC next year?
Oh, we should. I'm kind of upset. GCC is in Washington DC right now. Well, DC version is happening this week,
Hmm.
um, right before earnings, and I'm so close. But my wife had work travel, so I'm not going to be able to make it.
New way to
New way to
slide
fly
into
into
the
the
yeah.
send a weird song late at night.
It's like a romantic song. It's like
Yeah.
the new like on Facebook back in the day. The what was it? The nudge?
The like or the poke, I forget.
Yeah, the
The
poke.
poke.
Simpler times. Simpler times. Um, I think the Chinese police already use robotic dogs. I mean, it's
Yes.
pretty tech powered, AI powered policing over there already for a long, long time. So I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
Yeah.
We also have Alibaba report this week on Friday. Quite
Okay.
interesting to see how if the
Oh,
cloud
maybe
side
before
of the
Friday.
business,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
very very strange. If the cloud side of the business is continuing to accelerate.
Do they normally report on the end of the weekend?
No, usually it's Wednesday before the market
Uh,
opens, or maybe Thursday. So this was a strange one. Um, I do not have in my main. I do have two shares in the other portfolio, but since we're going to cover Nvidia tomorrow, I guess it will be three shares.
3 shares every time we do a stream
Three
of
shares,
an
three
event.
cents. 3 cents
Three
of
cents.
dividend, maybe more. Who knows? Maybe more. Um, if Jensen and what's the CFO Colette? If she's
Yes.
if she decides to say, you know what,
Ding,
we've s-
ding, ding, ding,
we
ding.
have so much money, we might as well pay Jose and Neil a little bit more.
And a little bit.
So
um,
this will update in a bit. In the meantime, all of this is already
AMD up 3%. Nice. Nebius up about 1%.
Oklo up 4.5 because I think someone mentioned that there was another note that came out. Oklo is wild, man. Oklo is a $10.5 billion company that generates $0 today.
Damn, Neil comes on the stream. Google goes down. Oscar was
Where
screen yesterday, I think, too.
uh, hmm, it's not that much down. That IREN is down
It's
3.2%.
yeah.
Novo Nordisk is down, Palantir is down, but not by much. Not by what we have. It's like a almost 50-50 split here of
Mhm.
red, red and green. Intel is flat. United Health flat-ish. What is PayPal doing? That's the important part here. PayPal is also flat. Like, what does
And
this have? What does the market have to do in order for PayPal to go back into the 70, $80? Because this thing really did not move much. Nvidia is green a little bit. Nebius is up 1.3.
yeah, pretty much pretty flat. Like most stocks are pretty. It's a 50-50 split, and if they're red, it's not much. If they're green, it's not much either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to see here what is really, really red. I don't really see any. I mean, Palantir 1.5, but that's about it. Uh, Eli Lilly is up 3%, MD 3.3. What is this? No clue. Yeah, 50-50. Let's see if Roberto already made some money with his
Why
CoreWeave.
don't I have chorus here? CoreWeave. There we go.
Let's see.
CoreWeave.
So CoreWeave 91, almost $92. It's up
Bink.
0.5%.
Yeah, Robert, you tell him. Good couch investor, legit tanking Google. Thanks, Neil.
I mean, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. This means I can move $2.4 billion companies. That's the power that I hold. I can move these giants. Um, so yeah, CoreWeave. Oh no, CoreWeave is down now. Oh, so whose fault is this? Yours
I blame
or
Roberto.
Roberto? Yeah, I think so
No,
too.
no. We can keep it for me for now. I think we'll feel
Uh,
pain, but I think this one's definitely gonna do really good. I like this one a lot.
any catalysts that are coming up other than that Core's deal later this year?
Um, I mean, just the quarter 4 with the Blackwell expansion. I think that they can see a nice revenue growth, a mass better than what they're projecting right now.
Hmm.
Jose, yeah, Roberto. Okay, it's me. I said it's me. Had this from 2 days ago. I said yesterday. Yesterday is when I got it. It's Monday. I didn't buy on Sunday. Why is AMD booming?
Okay,
Um,
why not?
it's booming because of, I don't know,
Because of the
quantums.
because of the price target.
Yeah, price. I think
Some people
price target is the
probably,
biggest thing.
yeah, because it's a big shift. Like it's 213. We're at where is it? 167. The previous price target that they had was in the
I can't believe this
70s.
got to an 80.
It's got to
Yeah,
186. Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty.
yeah. And then taking a little breather. That's also fine. Um, Rocket Lab also recovering quite nicely over the
Mm.
past couple of days, actually. I don't know why that chart it does not want to pull up.
It's
But
because it's that time, Neil, to go get breakfast or lunch.
I think it is. I think it is. SoFi is also doing very well. Um, so yeah, all in
Amateur hour
all,
here.
short the trading view.
Long other platforms.
Yeah. Now SoFi,
Yo,
I mean,
SoFi's killing it. Yo, what the heck?
SoFi is at a
If
4-year
only I
high.
knew someone that would have been recommending this one.
Yeah, if only. If
If
only.
only. Micron's
Uh,
turned green. It was red. That was pretty cool.
PayPal is also now greenish.
All right, say
Greenish.
something nice about CoreWeave then. You're asking.
No, I still do not have a position, so
Oh
that
yeah,
thing
yeah.
can
Okay.
that thing can continue to go down forever and ever. Um, yeah, micro is an interesting one.
So rude, yo.
Micron is an interesting one. I mean, it's one where they will just report earnings in like a month from now, so we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. But I guess comments from Nvidia could help it tomorrow. Um, hmm, what did flip here? Uber has been also very strong.
Yeah, extremely strong. Are you in Duolingo right now, Neil? Is this one
Hmm.
how's it looking now?
Not that great.
No.
Not, I mean, not no, not
But
that
it's around
great
where you
because
got it, right? It's not too far from where you got it in.
I'm down still. I think now 5% or so.
Uh,
A week ago, I was green because we did recover quite a lot, but now we're back here at 317 bucks.
mhm,
Still think it's a very good business that's just misunderstood. It's a very small company. It's a small company, but small position for me right
yeah.
now. But yeah, let's finish off by wishing CoreWeave the very
Hey, it's
best.
up. Thanks.
Voila, it's up now. Wishing CoreWeave the very best.
Rich.
Maybe by tomorrow. By tomorrow, I'll probably have a small position in
Nice,
in
nice.
CoreWeave for the culture, for the culture.
For the all right.
And with that, we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have
Mhm.
a full on Nvidia preview, open market open, and then we'll go live, of course, towards the market close and cover the earnings report as well. Hopefully,
Mhm.
they have a good mic. Last
Yeah,
quarter they
that's
had
what they
one.
should invest. That's what they should invest.
Yeah, 70 billion dollars in the mic in a studio,
It's
in a
studio
nice
mic.
studio. But no, last quarter they had a good mic for once. So hopefully they have one this time as well. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow